Wynwood Island is a railway island, where the history expands from the past and into the present day, with many stories to tell. These are the stories of animals, friends, and families, and steam diesel and electric locomotives who were conserved under the almighty which was Sealining Railway. A time of innovation, motivation, and change. For friends, family, animals, and their adventures, and steam diesel electrics and their services. These are the stories of locomotives and their crews who work hard, who bring friendships by helping, lending a hand, and simply cheering them up, while keeping their spirits high from their adventures. These are the adventures of the Sealining Railway. Episode 21. The Great Argument. The Sealining Railway never ceased working. All the engines are pulling goods and passengers all over the system, which meant to call it really useful. But sometimes others can get arguments, but others they have a good chats. But also it's about the two engines who have the big arguments. One particular day, Diego was taking a suburban service. He stopped alongside Lusitania and Nicholas. And you can guess what they were doing. Well, since you're a tank engine, you're very slow and being a weak because you are slowpoker right now.
No, I'm not Lusitania. I'm not a slow poker because I'm capable of pulling passengers and goods.
I know you're pulling goods trains, but you're very slow.
Whoa, you two. Please calm down. What's the matter with you guys?
Me and Lusitania are having a conversation, Diego.
Uh-huh. Because we're talking about how we are prestigious ourselves. Because this tank engine is just very slow and almost weak.
Would you please knock it off with that? This is about rail travel, not a rivalry against each other, and I don't want you to get yourselves into any trouble right now. You're making some crashing ends.
Really? Crashing ends? If one engine crashes into us, fine. We know what's gonna happen next.
Now, if you excuse me, I'm taking this train to Wynwood City, and please, no more fighting, okay?
And with that, Diego, continue on. Hopefully we'll stop fighting each other. But I'm sorry to say, it didn't. When Lusitania and Nicholas got to the Shed City yards, they looked at them into the dead glass. Donovan, the GS6, loses his patience. Let me guess, the same thing again.
What's it to ya?
It's not like that we are hard workers, isn't it? Oh, I know what's going on. You're stuck on with your smoke boxes about who is better about yourselves. You ain't gonna scrap on me. I have done my last run in the Southern Pacific Railroad. I have done in 1958. So take a minute and shut up. Just then, Termas, the UP Heavy Challenger, backs down towards the yards. Gee, Donovan, I'll take a chopper without you. Plus, having a big fight about who is better engine, but they can always forgive each other. Really? And what does it look like? Oh, just you wait and see. Just you wait and see about these two having their big arguments. So Lusitania and Nicholas decided not to speak each other and went angrily to sleep. At Wynwood City Sheds, the engines are having a good chat when Mr. Lindsley, a yard manager, came towards them. Evening, Jeffrey. You having a good time's rest? Well, Daniel had told me that you had an important job for you. Blythe was feeling ill, so she cannot take the mail all over Windward Island. So, have you any volunteers? I would like to do that, sir, but I have to take the evening express. No thanks, sir. I'm not allowed that. I don't want to see me pulling the mail train.
I can do it. That's okay with this.
You? But you're an express engine. You are a passenger engine.
I know, but I'm always ready for duty.
That's the spirit, Professor. Now, off you go then. Go to the post mail and go get the vans and deliver the mail over to the island. Good luck. Well, Professor, looks like we're replacing Blythe where she was ill.
Yeah, Dolly, that will be a good night run.
On the main line, there was a junction. It's a pretty medium junction, but they have two sides, one on the left and one on the right. It's going for the opposite directions. But not far from here there's a town, and right here is the home of 101 Dalmatian. But what happened to this? Well, it will be one of the most greatest events on the Sealining Railway history. Lusitania is pulling a goods train called the Night Owl. He decided to stop at the junction, go to a siding, waiting for another train to pass by. Nicholas, on the other hand, was taking the slower goods all the way back to Wynwood City. He decided to go to a junction for a stop here, waiting for another train to pass by. Lusitania takes the other junction. So does Nicholas. But when they saw each other, they stopped in opposite directions. Hey, what are you doing here? Why are you doing it in my way? I'm have to pull this train.
No, Lusitania, you're in my way.
No, you're in my way because I had to pull the Night Owl all the way to the far side of the island.
And I have to take the slow goods back to Wynwood City.
Sir, the argument still continues, as it right now. At the mail post, Professor is ready to take the mail train all around Wynwood Island. Dylan and Dolly, accompanied with Dizzy, Didi, and Dunkins, had already been prepared to go on their journey. Okay, we got mail and everything. I guess we're good to go. Alright, we're ready. Ready to go, Professor?
Ready as I'll ever be, Dylan.
Dunkins blew his whistle. Then they set off into the night. Back at the junction, Lusitania and Nicholas are still arguing, but they didn't want to know what will happen next. I'm gonna tell you for the final time. Please back it up your train and I will pass.
No, you move it.
No, you move it back because you're in my way.
No, you move it back first.
No, you move it back first and I will continue on. As they were kept arguing, a whistle of another engine was heard, which means Lusitania had left this train far behind, which means they're gonna be collided it. Oh no, not that. Move back, move back, move back! Nicholas tries to back up, but he didn't, because his lower goods is far too heavy, and there's nothing they can do to go back up. Hey, there's a train up ahead. What train? That train. Oh no, brake, brake, brake! Then put on the brakes, son. Professor noticed what is gonna happen next. Lusitania and Nicholas tried to get out of the way, but it didn't, because these two goods trains are far too heavy. Dylan and Dolly and the rest have jumped clear before impact, and Professor shut his eyes as, with the despair of movable horror, he crashed into Lusitania's goods train. The collision was tremendous. Professor plunged into the brake van above the goods train who stood ahead of him. Some of these trucks fly into the air, flying through the houses like nothing. Some of the trucks have been landing into some buildings, including the house of the Dalmatians. All the Dalmatians have been survived from the crash, and the peoples has survived from the crash. People are still asleep when the crash had been occurred. Lusitania and Nicholas was still in shock when the crash had happened. Two of them had feared that something would happen, and now their nightmares was reality. Next morning, the site was in a complete mess. Marcus arrived with the breakdown train to clear up the mess, and Diego arrives with Daniel aboard. Dylan and Dolly and the rest are okay, but still was shaken up. All the Dalmatians came to see Professor, but Professor is okay, but a bit damaged, and Daniel came to see him.
The signal is down, sir.
Oh, cheer up, Professor. It's not your fault. It was these two who caused us a lot of trouble.
Oh, I see what you mean, sir.
You need to go to the works to be mended. These two has caused a big argument themselves.
Yes, sir.
Diego, take Professor to the works, and I'll talk to Nicholas and Lusitania later.
Yes, sir. Well, I warned them.
Yes, indeed, Diego.
Well, you two, I think you have learned your lesson today.
But the two engines said no more, because of what they have done today. Later that afternoon, Daniel spoke severely for the two engines. Lusitania? Nicholas? What on earth are you fighting for? Well, sir, that we'll talk about whether we are prestigious and who is better ourselves. And I wasn't paying attention that Professor had crashed into my goods train. Look, this is a railway line of friendship, not a rivalry. Plus, it was just in the past, but in reality, you started fighting? No, sir. Since you have yourself a so-called the great argument, you need to stop this fight immediately.
We're sorry, sir, and hopefully we should never do that again.
Good. If you have a fight one more time, I will send you away immediately and never come back to this island. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Daniel walked sternly away. By now, the arguments had gone. Now they're all feeling miserable, sadness, and guilty. A few days later, Professor was prepared and back at the sheds, ready for another run. He was surprised to see the two engines at the sheds.
Hello, you two. How's it going?
The two engines said nothing. They're still being guilty what they have done.
There's something wrong.
What? No. We are so sorry about this accident that we have made ourselves because we're having our big fights. Especially on your mail night run.
Yeah, it was our fault that we have our arguments.
Oh, that's okay. We all make mistakes. It's all about errors.
Yes, the errors that we have made. But for right now, we should behave very good and also never have a fight again.
Yeah, accidents do happen sometimes.
Yes, indeed, Nicholas. Yes, indeed.
And so, the apologies has been accepted. Now the engines have been firm friends ever since. And hopefully, they won't remember a thing and not having their big fights and pretend this never happened.